Can we just do the thing that we want just for 1 second, Guy? Is that okay? We just do this 1 second?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay. We have this guy here. His name is Chef Kevin.
He's really basic.
He is the most boring, basic burger bitch who has ever lived.
Yeah.
But
he's a total herb.
Yes. Are you familiar with the concept of a herb?
I'm not.
Okay. You will be in 1 second.
Okay.
But we need ways to profit off of him as part of this show. We put his face on an apron. The apron has not been selling very well.
Yeah.
So we see, Guy's doing a good piece of business with this memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get Kevin to do his little memoir as well.
The memoir ultimately would really be an advertisement for the apron.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which we're underwater on.
Have you guys at all floated a chutney line?
Oh, that could be really interesting. And then they get the chutney on the apron. They have to get a new apron.
Exactly.
If we intentionally make the chutney too messy and maybe don't put the jar lid on all the way, that could be pretty cool.
That's really smart.
Okay, let's play out the so we probably will just do the chutney now. But
we don't even need to do the rest of the episode really because you kind of already solved it.
Let's do Kevin's memoir thing.
Yeah,
just in case. Kevin. And he's sitting down. I could see him sitting down, even though he knows that he's going to come in.
Kevin, are you meditating out there? Like, I see you sitting, just staring at nothing.
Hey guys, Chef Kevin here. Yeah, the screen is not on technically. It is to help get me in a more relaxed headspace before I come in here.
Okay, we would prefer you be more like up.
Okay.
It's interesting that you think that's what you should be doing is to be like somehow come in at a lower energy than you normally do.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard the episodes, right? Or when you're hearing yourself speaking, are you thinking, man, I got to tone this down?
That's a good point. No, I guess I've never thought that. But I've thought maybe because I've been meditating, I'm relaxed now.
You should be doing suicides.
That's a lot. Then I'm going to come in sweaty and stinky, though, and you're not going to like that either.
Well, we'll see if I like it.
Yeah,
let's see.
We don't tell Hayes what he likes.
Don't tell me what I'm going to like.
We try it once, then Hayes tells you to do something else.
Yes.
Okay.
And can we say, hello,
Hi,
Guy.
Thanks
This is
for coming.
Guy.
Hello, Kevin.
Jesus.
Congrats on the book. I heard it's awesome. I'm so excited to read it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kevin, can I just learn a little bit more about you as a chef?
Okay.
Okay, here's my question for you, Kevin. If you were doing the Top Chef Season 1 Quickfire Challenge where they had to go into a gas station and get things from a gas station with only $30 and then make a real high-end dish, I think you remember it, 2 people made Krispy Kreme bread pudding.
Yeah.
I believe Leanne won. What would you make?
I would probably get donuts and a Snickers bar and a Mountain Dew and make like a croissant with like a dash of Mountain Dew.
I got a feeling when they showed up to judge like your meal from the Quickfire, you'd just be finishing polishing off the Snickers and Mountain Dew, having not even touched a pan. It'd be like, I didn't get it plated in time.
You make a croissant out of donuts, multiple donuts.
Yeah.
Which they don't have at every gas station, by the way.
Yeah, but what's the brand? They're kind of like they're in packs of 3.
The package ones?
Yeah.
The Drake ones?
Yeah, Drake donuts.
Okay.
I just had an idea.
Okay, Shane, no, stop.
Yep.
You're on the West Coast now. I mean, like, you guys live here and you enjoy our weather. Don't fucking play a Drake's Cakes game here. This is Hostess Country or Dolly Madison, and you have some goddamn respect,
he's
okay?
from Napsterville, Illinois. I'm just speaking his language.
I don't care. You're in LA right now. It's not humid. Act like it.
I didn't even do it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
That's
donuts. So... but I had an idea, which is if we can get to...
And Jordan, I just want to say, normally, when a host gets like that with me, normally the engineer will protect me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
well, as a guest. I mean, he's become the host because he has dominated us. But
and, well, he is a host.
So,
yes.
Wait, I thought all of you were strapped in.
Somehow, Guy has
out?
managed to loosen his straps.
Oh, my God.
And was able to just destroy us.
I'm not doing my job.
And so usually there will be a diving. Usually I will see an engineer, Sam, usually an engineer, Ryan,
I'm so sorry.
diving in front of me when something like that happens, and I was looking and I did not see that, and then I looked and you were still in your. So Kevin, we're helping you with your memoirs, of course, the famous thing that we've been doing for a long time now.
Okay.
Guy is here to help you spice up some of your life stories. If you could just tell Guy one of your best stories.
Okay.
Kind of like the one that you told us last week about some like internet conversation you had that was very boring.
Remember, there was one about going 3 weeks early to try to see the Mr. Rogers documentary. That was a pretty good story.
Yes.
So when I thought the Mr. Rogers documentary.
No, don't tell that story again.
No, but just give us some. Everyone heard that one, but we're just giving you examples.
I saw Equalizer 2 in theaters, and there was no one there. Well, there was a couple people there, and the guy behind me snored through the last hour, and it was distracting me, and I didn't know. I didn't feel comfortable like waking him up or shouting or something, so I just kind of took it, and he just snored over the last hour.
But there was only a couple people there. Why didn't you just move seats?
That was that would have
Kevin,
been.
let me tell you
This is
something.
chapter 1.
All right. No, I think that this is a beautiful story to start out with, because I think what a book needs these days, let's be honest, you're not a major celebrity, you're a mid-level celebrity.
He's B-list.
Yeah, you have to have an angle that is sort of like leveraging these stories that are still Hollywood and glossy and making them relatable to people. And I think that that really is a story about you tell the world how to treat you, okay? You go into this world and you're sending out messages about what you're worth. And what you're saying to the universe is, I am worth having someone snore so that I cannot properly hear Equalizer 2.
That's true. And I didn't even move seats.
Were you at a theater that had assigned seats? Were you at the ArcLight of the Grove?
Yeah, and I feel an obligation to stay in that seat.
Okay, yeah, and at this point in American democracy, the rule of law is like hanging on by a tenuous thread, and it really does take strong Americans like you believing in and supporting the law as it exists, even though you could get away with something.
Yeah.
And I really feel like there's some political grandstanding there that won't be at all valuable for promotion. You need to go conservative with this book, okay? You need to say, and then I shot that guy because I was somewhat scared of him.
Oh, gosh.
And that's okay, and I should have a gun with me at all times.
Is there any other stories I could tell that maybe would have a different angle?
You're the one with your own
It's
stories.
your story.
Yeah, come
I've never
on,
met
Kevin.
you before. So let me ask you a question.
We've met a couple times. That's okay.
Have we?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times.
Wait, you were here for...
Who charted?
He's
Yes.
always in here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. Maybe that's the story.
Imagine being like, oh yeah, Kevin, that guy left a really big impression on me.
Hey,
That would have disturbed me.
He is a beautiful little boy. He's got facial hair that's growing that looks like it didn't grow from his face. It looks like he was in a 5th grade production of Our Town and someone used spirit gum to apply it to his face. Kevin, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Well, first of all, let me just say, next time you meet me, make an impression.
Okay.
But the other thing is, in a darker moment in my career, I ghost wrote a book for one of the men on $1 Million Listing LA.
Whoa.
And so I wanted to just say to you, have you ever sold a house in the bird streets of West Hollywood? Because if so, I can turn this into a book.
What's the closest thing you have to that experience?
Well, I sold my car last year, and my neighbor asked for my parking spot. And she said, how about I give you $100? Or I said, okay, it's $100. And she said, how's 50? And I said, no. And she said, we're doing 50. And I said, so now every couple of months she pays me, and I have to ask her. She normally doesn't pay me. So, like, that's pretty similar.
So that kind of negotiation that is a little similar to the $1 Million Listing, $50 parking spot.
So this really is a business book. This is a book, like, I think it's somewhere, it's in self-help, but it's somewhere in between business and, like, like talking about
Philosophy.
confidence.
Well, the entrepreneurial spirit is still alive in America, and I feel like Kevin's the best example of that.
But also, I believe, Kevin, like going on a journey in your own life during the process of writing this book, where you go from thinking, hey, my parking spot is only worth what she tells me, to saying, hey, my parking spot is worth at least $85.
Yeah.
I think that could be a beautiful journey.
Yeah. maybe I'm sharing all of these stories of what I did wrong so that the reader knows what to do right.
Right.
One thing you could do is stack up a bunch of pumpkins in the parking spot and go, hey, I'm not moving these pumpkins until you pay me what it's really worth. Then afterwards you could like make a pie.
I mean, what is he supposed to do during the spring, summer, and winter? I mean, winter, I guess you still have fall squashes. But I mean, during the summertime, you think he's going to be able to get enough summer squashes?
Winter, Christmas trees. Summer, maybe some kind of like playground or something for kids. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this parking spot year round. Yeah,
in summer, maybe you put a bunch of super soakers in there.
Yeah.
And then when she tries to park, you blast her.
What if that's the book? Each chapter is like a different season and how it went. Putting different stuff in the parking space.
I don't think that's a good idea.
How much of a historical view of the parking space would we get? Would we look back to a point in time that it was like co-opted from Native American peoples? Would it be a book fundamentally about how all land in this country is theft?
Yeah, I noticed we never heard how Kevin got the parking space in the first place. I have a feeling it could possibly have been stolen from Native Americans. Does that ring a bell, Kevin?
We don't have to go through the history. We could just start at the present time.
But that's the adventure, Kevin. I feel like you really need to tell. I mean, if you tell a story that begins with you being fixed, it's not a story. But if you give us an adventure and you say, hey, I used to be someone who stole parking spaces from Native Americans, but now I'm a better. I think that's good, not great. What's great is I started out better. Now I am someone who steals parking spaces from Native Americans because we need more conservative pundits. We don't have enough.
I'd love to see you break bad, read the parking spot. Kevin, you have a friend named Darius, no?
That's right.
Guy, can we do anything with that?
He built a dresser for me yesterday.
Are we talking about all in a single day?
Yeah, yesterday after work, I told him I bought a dresser. And
Is he an elf from a fairy tale?
No.
Does he cobble shoes? Because I've been looking.
I wish. No, he's just really good at building stuff.
Okay.
So I sat on my bed and complained about work as he built a dresser for 3 hours.
What'd you say?
Oh, I just said, times are tough. And
well, no specifics.
Did you mention that Guy never remembers you?
Yeah. I was like, well, I saw him when Howard was on the couch, and this was the second time I've seen him, and he introduced himself again, and at this point, I didn't say like, oh yeah, we've met. So I guess it was on me.
You're doing a different glasses thing than you don't always do.
Yeah, I'm wearing them today.
Has it ever crossed your mind that I am just pretending to not remember you because I'm enchanted by your narrow waist and boyish complexion, and I'm trying to not make this seem uncomfortable? We all saw what happened to Les Moonves.
That's true. I guess I should be thanking you.
So, Darius, the construction of this dresser, did it represent an emotional journey for him or the two of you? Was he getting over the loss of a small child, something under 6? I mean, once we get into school-aged years, it's not as emotional. But was this really like a woman under the... I was trying to remember the name of a book that moms read in the 90s, but I really couldn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, probably.
Wait, you were trying to do that too?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm trying to remember the name of a book that women read in the 90s.
For to help guides
like
for
a
this.
Danielle Steele thing.
No, more like Knights in Rodanthe, Snow Falling on Cedars. Like I had a great Prince of Tidsy. I had
Joy Luck Club. We've had a lot of success with Amy Tan references in the last couple of weeks.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm always going to be a Maxine Hong Kingston man, but Amy Tan, she did a whole lot to take that mainstream, and also gave us the Joy Luck Club movie, and anytime Rosalind Chow gets work, this guy's happy. So sorry, Kevin.
That's okay.
You were telling me what Darius was working through in the process of building that dresser.
Yeah, I think he is working through his own career. He's trying to, build up from nothing. And so he is working just with simple pieces of wood and trying to build something beautiful.
Are you comfortable being sort of like a Nick Carraway in your own memoir where you're really just observing somebody else's more interesting journey through and around American capitalism?
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun.
I call that. I call being Nick Carraway. I call it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin.
That's okay. So I guess no, I got
that was a good name for your cool character in the book too.
Hell yeah.
It's your favorite seed.
Oh, yes. No, it can be so good in like Havarti or whatever.
I'm sorry. It's a lot of licorice flavor. For me, if you're going with a licorice flavored seed, I'm always going to go fennel.
Okay, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But I think I stated pretty clearly that it's in like a Havarti. So
Okay.
like there's like a nice sort of creaminess.
Fennel and
like
Havarti is a lot.
That's fair. That's fair.
Kevin, do you have any stories from like your childhood that we could workshop?
Sure, I got lost in the woods once when I went on a run.
You went on a run as a child?
Yeah.
It's not called going on a run at that point.
Yeah.
It's just called running.
I'm sorry, this gives so much context and emotional weight to your narrow waist. And are we completely ignoring the possibility that this is a book about surviving body image issues and possible sort of like food issues?
That's great. I think that's definitely the path we should go.
Food issues for Chef Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a journey. That's a full circle.
Yeah.
Kevin, can I get something? And Jordan, I need you to look alive. Just real quick while we have you. We need to plug in you saying something to protect our guest. Can you just say "In the Heights"?
In the Heights.
Oh,
God.
Kevin.
Kevin, Jesus, man.
God.
No.
Terrible specific.
Come on, Kevin.
You did get that, Jordan?
Yeah, I got it.
I feel terrible. Why didn't I just say Mamma Mia? Why didn't I just say Mamma
Yes,
Mia?
that would have crushed.
It would have been hilarious. Oh, here's a question.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of your memoir. Do you know definitively who your father is, and did your mother ever own an inn on a Greek island? Because if so, I think we may have an angle.
No, but they can.
What's your closest life connection to that kind of thing?
My parents own a house in Wisconsin, and they think it's like super rad.
Are we talking like Door County or?
Oh, Lodi. It's a very small town. There's a population like 2,000.
There's a lake house?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're doing upscale vacationing in Wisconsin, I want Door County or the Dales. Like, I'm not fucking around with this shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then
I mean, just look, there are a lot of lakes up there. We've all got lakes up there.
Yeah.
But, you know, something charming like on Lake Michigan, that's what I'm looking
Have
for.
some self-respect.
I agree. It's embarrassing for them.
Well, defend your
Lodi.
parents.
Lodi
Hey,
sounds
leave
like
them-
a Lodi horse shit to me.
Hey, leave them alone.
Yeah,
That was great.
Really funny, right?
Those are my best friends.
So is it possible that your mother, during the course of one of like her rapturous summers in Lodi, Wisconsin, was actually romanced by 3 separate men, all of whom might be your father?
No, she stayed at home. I feel like now in her life, maybe this is my Nick Carraway thing. I feel like she's now like realizing like I have a life and I'm gonna go do cool things, and so she's kind of like going on trips and being independent and fun, and I'm like, that's kind of awesome. So maybe like that's the story.
I don't think that happens in any Nick Carraway stories.
Oh, I just meant like I'm observing it like from a distance.
Okay, we've got an adult child observing their mom who's going on her own journey. Just have to ask, does she have 3 friends who also all immigrated to Wisconsin from Illinois, and they all have children, and you guys are learning to relate to each other? To take this back to Hayes's Joy Luck Club point, like, do you have some sort of white, more accessible Joy Luck Club?
And does she also have her groove, or does she possibly need to get it
I
back?
mean, that's a real question we all have to ask during the course of writing a book.
I think she's getting her groove. And yes, there are some Illinois immigrants that are coming to Wisconsin who are the same age as me. So maybe there's some parallels here.
Kevin, let me ask you just an honest question. How old is your mom?
54.
Okay. Let's say, and she's still married to your dad.
55. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say
What happened?
56. 50. Sorry, yeah.
She's getting old very fast.
We gotta hurry.
She fucks a dude. Not your dad.
Gosh.
Does not break up with him, and he's just for the rest of her life
lightheaded.
happier and in a better mood.
Yeah.
Like her life is better and more healed. Now, your father's feelings aside, would you be happy and comfortable with that, or would that fundamentally tear you apart?
I have so many mixed emotions. I'd be happy that she's happy. I feel like it would change our relationship because she has this lifelong lie she's been keeping from me, but maybe it was to protect me.
Will it change your relationship when she listens to this show, which she often does?
Yeah, she told me she heard that I do my mom thing, and I told her she should stop listening.
Cool.
Yeah. So that might change it. But
Feels like the kind of thing she could have just blown past as well. Didn't necessarily have to call you and tell you that she heard it. Yeah.
And
His mom's creation of drama is what you get a book out of.
Mm-hmm.
Having just like a low-key life where you look at Darius do things while you yourself are inactive, you know. I mean, the novel really is the medium best suited to that. It is an internal story, but I just feel like we need more. And frankly, Kevin's mom is doing most of the work of what I've heard for creating interesting, compelling storytelling.
Well, you know who's really doing most of the work, Guy, is you. I wonder if this memoir is like the Guy sessions, and it's sort of all the stories of like the times you met on the couch, or the times that you were able to reframe the story, or how you built a new relationship for Kevin with his mom and with Darius.
I love that.
Thank
I
you.
just want to yes and you. What if it's Tuesdays with Guy?
Yes.
Okay. Or no.
Guy
Even
talk.
better. The 5 guys you meet in heaven.
Thank you.
So it's Kevin going, and he goes to heaven, and he meets me and like 4 animals, all named Guy, who had gone extinct at various points in time. And then they sort of like guide him through the choices he needs to make. And then he undies and comes back to Earth and builds his own dresser.
That's the callback. We did the animals in heaven and building a dresser. So that's what we wrap up the show on.
Okay, yeah, and of course this is also a callback to a joke I did maybe 200 episodes ago, where Tuesdays with Maury was the answer to the question, what's your favorite album?
Bye.